Alright, strap yourselves in. I have a bone to pick. Word on the street is some people have been talking smack about one of my favorite pastimes. Believe it or not, people are saying that anime is lame and it's nerdy, and the worst one of all, it's just for kids. Well, my dear viewer, if you find yourself in this unfortunate camp, allow me to show you the error of your ways and provide you with a path to righteousness. First thing you need to understand is that not all animes are created equally.
My rival?
Basically, there are many different genres of anime. Yes, that's right, it's not just cartoon boys fighting each other or those questionably hentai, pedophilic kind of ones. Funimation shows 13 different genres of anime on their website. Now, the thing you need to realize is that many of these genres are so far beyond anything that a child would enjoy watching. Therefore, if my estimations are correct, it is impossible to say that anime is just for kids. The same way Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones isn't written for kids is the same way that Death Note isn't. The most recent season of Attack on Titan has most of the episodes rated R18+, for Christ's sake. Animes can be dark and violent and spine-chillingly savage. Some of them battle with those questions that you only ask yourself when you're up late at night filled with existential dread. Some are psychological thrillers that shine a light up to humanity and make us realize how horrific human nature can really be. And some have love stories that will have you cuddling up with your bros bawling your eyes out. I digress. Animes are made for all types of people from all walks of life. Just like books, TV shows, and movies, there is an anime for everyone. Now, the second reason why anime is not just for kids and why you would probably enjoy it are the storylines and the characters. I don't know what it is about the Japanese, but they are bloody brilliant at creating stories. And they make some of the most interesting characters in all of fiction, period. But let's start with the storylines. Even if we are picking a more mainstream, kid-friendly anime like Naruto, the plot is so intricate that it's almost blasphemy to call it a kids show at all. In every arc, they're developing an underlying story with plot twists, drama, and epic battles all entwined together. Emotionally, you face heartbreak, laughter, joy, grief, despair, tragedy, and of course, pain. Animes, even the mainstream ones, are so much more than boy punches evil man or boy falls in love with surprisingly curvaceous hentai teenager. I'm dead serious. To say it plainly, the storylines are sick and you just have to give them some time to unfold. Now, as for the characters, they're just as complicated and intricate as the stories themselves. You watch characters evolve and develop in ways that are quite rare in Western TV shows and movies. You meet characters who were once heroes, but are yet crushed by life's trauma, and then are placed on a path to sadistic villainy. Characters who push on all the while carrying burdens of unimaginable weight. You meet those seeking retribution for crimes so violent that the devil himself would turn pale. And of course, you meet some pretty badass motherfuckers. Anime storylines and characters have a certain way of connecting with their viewer that's quite different from most other cartoons and cinema. Now, of course, this is just my opinion, but I feel like very often Western stories glorify particularly virtuous characters. You know, they're super strong or super happy or super brave. They're what we would call the hero's hero. Animes do that sometimes, but I feel like most of the time they don't. And if they do, they have insanely brilliant supporting characters to help provide depth to the story. Animes very often show you broken characters. Characters that are heroes but are still weak. Good figures that still do evil things and vice versa. For me, it just seems a bit more realistic and makes you identify and connect with the characters more. And the third reason why anime is not just for kids is simply the artwork. You don't have to be an anime enthusiast to realize that animation is an art form. You also don't have to be an anime enthusiast to realize how gorgeous some animes are drawn and animated. Different styles can invoke different experiences, and I feel like this is something that a lot of kids would just overlook. And that's not saying that they wouldn't enjoy the artwork. I just think that they wouldn't have the higher order thinking to realize just how impressive it is. And the same goes for the music. Hearing some of the musical scores in anime shows is the closest spiritual experience you could possibly get without going to a Kanye Sunday service. Music has a major role to play with our emotions, and animes know this all too well. They create some of the best opening and closing tracks, let alone just the general themes that run throughout the show. The combination of artwork and music is like a symphony for your senses. And it not only engages you more in the story, but it makes the story stay with you long after you finish watching it. Seriously, I can't tell you how many soundtracks I have saved on Spotify that I listen to while I'm driving to work. Talk about feeling like the main character. Okay, finally, the reason why anime is not just for kids is simply that it is entertaining. You see, something can make you happy, and that's reason enough for it to be worth your time. We often categorize things in life for certain ages or for certain types of people. But you have to remember that these are just general guidelines, and most of the time, they're bullshit. Even if Dragon Ball Z or Yu-Gi-Oh! Were made for kids and you're 30 years old but enjoy it, who cares? Adults can like kid things, and I would argue that one of the biggest tragedies is that society often forces adults to stop doing the things that they were once passionate about as kids. These things obviously gave people so much joy at a time where being happy was their sole focus. And what a shame it is that we mock people who want to continue enjoying those things. On top of that, it's just a very uninteresting way to live. Seriously, only doing things that other people think we should do? Sounds pretty lame to me. Now, with all this being said, I'm not saying that you have to like anime. For some people, it might not actually be for them. But I believe that there is a difference between not watching it because you don't like it and not watching it because you think you're not meant to like it. Provided you're not harming anyone or breaking any laws, I think all of this can be summed up with the famous ancient Chinese proverb, you do you, babe. Subscribe if you think I'm worthy. I love you all, but those who haven't subscribed, just slightly less. That's it. I'll see you all next time.